Hello all you book lovers watching this video on YouTube. Tim here from World of Sleuths with another weekly wrap-up of, actually this is bi-weekly, this one, because last Saturday I was busy with my other hobby, which is my music collection, or I was at record store crawl here in Rockford, where the four independent record stores in town were all having sales. They were working at this together, and we'd go to each one and they'd punch a card and stuff. And well, anyway, yes, I was going, and each store was having different sales, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because part of it is have something book related, which I'll tell you about when I get to that. But first I'll tell you about the books I read, starting with not this week that's just ending, but the week before. I started out the week, reading the book And the Wolf Shall Dwell by Johnny D. It's his debut novel. It takes place in London, where Adam Gray is a retired MI6 agent, and he gets a call from a old informant wanting to meet with him and him alone. And on the way to the meeting spot, he gets a phone call saying that the informant had just committed suicide jumping in front of a train. Since he was already near where it happened, he was sent to the scene by MI6 to investigate. When he's there at the scene, he comes across John Daniel, for an IT professional working in London, who the informant had ran into and muttered some words that John didn't understand what the informant meant by them, but he saw two men coming after the informant just before the informant jumped in from the train. So from there, Adam and Gray and John, they start trying to figure out what happened there and start investigating it. I won't go too far in the book. I'll leave a link to my blog site where you can read my review of it. I had given it a rating of 4 stars. Then this was a review copy that I got from the author, and after that I read another review copy from a book that I got from bookgobbler.com, and let me pull that up. Oh, sorry about that. And that book is Least Wanted by W. Mack. It's second Emma Gray mystery. This is the first one I read, though. Yes, I'll read them out of order at times. Like I said, this was a review copy that I got where Emma McGray is a female attorney in Maryland. Pretty much she was formerly a public defender, and 2 of the clients she has are Tina Jackson, who 13-year-old black girl who, while trying to snatch an elderly woman's purse, knocked the woman down, causing her to break her arm, and Brad Higgins is the other client, a young accountant and son of a wealthy parent suspected of investment from a computer games company he works for. It appears that both these are unrelated, but are they really? This book follows Sam as she investigates these crimes while trying to clear her clients. And it takes her into Philadelphia and some rough areas in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. It's pretty much a legal and crime thriller combined together. I had also given this one a rating of 4 stars. Oh, I have to go get that book. Sorry about that. After that, I read that, yes, I'm straight from what I gave for my TBR in the last night. I went to the library and checked out a few books. This is Murder as Fine Art by David Morrell. Of course, this is a historical thriller by him. See, David Morrell is a guy that wrote Rambo, but then this is first one in the Thomas De Quincey series. See, Thomas De Quincey, it was an actual guy in the 19th century that wrote articles like he was confessed that he was an opium addict and stuff, and but he also wrote books like murders and stuff, and he wrote one on what was called the Ratcliffe Highway murders, which was a big thing in London at the time, which took place in 1811. Well, 43 years later, there's a copycat killer that are and these were brutal murders where he do around everybody in a building at the same time, and including children. 43 years later, there's somebody, a copycat, doing the same thing, reconstructing the same way as in the originals. That the only way they could know about it was by some of Thomas De Quincey's writings, and he's also trying to make it look like De Quincey's the one doing it, but in this Thomas De Quincey, his daughter Emily, and Detective Inspector Ryan and Constable Becker set out to find who's committing these murders. This book does start out a little slow, but after it's describing the instance from 1811, but not long after that, it gets down into the stuff, and it gets serious. So talk about the murders and the current murders and the murder, some of his past and stuff, and it just absorbs the reader, and it's written in both the first and third person, and this one, just with the way it's written and by how it just pulls the reader in, I give it a rating of 5 stars. And I'm currently reading another book by David Morrell from the library titled Burnt Sienna. It's about an artist where a very rich arms dealer that pretty much gives him a commission. He was trying to turn it down at first, but the CIA talks him into doing it, into painting a couple portraits of this arms dealer's wife, and because they've been trying to get into this arms dealers complex and stuff, and they haven't been able to get a spy into there. But I'm around halfway through the book, and it's been pretty intense so far. I have to get one more book. After that's done, I'll be reading this book, Into Rage and Blaze. It's by Andreas Norman. It's pretty much his first novel. It's translated by Ian Giles or Giles. It takes place in Sweden. It's an espionage thriller in Sweden. I didn't read much on it, but it looked interesting when I was looking at it in the library, so I'll be starting it as soon as I'm done with Burnt Sienna. I'm hoping to finish Burnt Sienna tomorrow. And then after Burnt Sienna, I'll be oh boy, I can't find that on here. I did have a book I was reading on my note. It's a review for another author, for Lee Sherrod. He's a British author. He's writing his first book. He wants me to read a review copy of it to let him know how it reads for people outside of the UK. That it's like a military political thriller type. Or like a police and military thriller. And then after that, like I showed you the last time, the books I have on my list, I plan on getting to them. Believe me, I am. Tom Clancy's Clear and Present Danger. Gingrich and Peter Early, Duplicity. And James Patterson, Along Came a Spider. To get back to that with the record stores, see, the last one we went to is that's Kate's Pie Shop and Record Store. Well, yes, I said pie shop. See, they have more than pie at the pie shop. They have like sandwiches in there, and like they have like lattes and stuff. Well, my wife and I, but this is inside the building with the branch library that's right over by us, and it's like 5 minutes from our apartment. Well, anyway, I was looking at records in there. My wife said, "Well, I'm going to go into the library and look at." We decided we'd have lunch in there after I got done looking at records. So after I got done looking at records, I went and found her in the library, and I've been trying to get her to check out books. She had read quite a bit before our kids were born, and she had stopped after the kids, especially after they started getting into activities and stuff. Well, now both our kids are adults and moved up and living in other states now. Well, she surprised me and had 2 books checked out. I've been trying to get her to check books out, and when I checked those books out that I showed you, I showed her some that I saw there, like they had some Murder She Wrote ones in the mystery there and stuff. Well, she had a Murder She Wrote book checked out, and then one by Joanne Fluke. It's one of them in like the that's like the Murder She Baked movies on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel shows, and she likes watching those movies, so she decided to check those out. And see, she's into mysteries like I am, so I'm getting her into reading again, so I'm happy about that. Well, that's all I have for this time, so until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.